How does CPM, Takt, and Last Planner tie together? In this video, I'm going to sketch a really neat, I would say, outline that explains exactly how the systems tie together and exactly how you can look at it and explain it to people, because people think, oh, all these systems are different and they're disconnected. No, they're not. It's all a part of a single system, especially if you have the right base. So if you want a really cool visual, then stay with us. All right, check this out. So I'm just gonna get right into it because you're gonna love this. And if you do love this, please like the video, and we want you to subscribe because we want you to hang out. We do a video every single workday. We film 20 videos a month just for you, so we'd love for you to subscribe. Okay, so check this out. When we talk about lean systems, let me talk about Takt first. Absolutely love this. You know that I'm a Takt fanatic, and I'll just go ahead and draw it like this. Okay, when you have Takt planning on your project, you have automatically location-based scheduling. You have line of balance, right, where you have trades going a similar line of balance throughout the project. You've pulled in the best from the concepts of Gantt, the best concepts from CPM, and you've pulled in the best concepts from Lean and the theory of constraints, plus much more. All of this is looped into one system, okay? So Takt must be your base. In fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and write that. Takt must be your base, all right? How does pre-construction planning tie into this? So pre-construction planning is all the rave right now. We've known about it for decades, maybe even longer for that, maybe for a century or centuries. But if you plan your project, you will really do a good job. So you want to have visibility on your production plan before you ever start out in the field. That means that you'll definitely want to have that built on paper so that it goes well in the field. And we know from the book How Big Things Get Done, projects don't go wrong, they start wrong. And so you must have good pre-construction planning. Okay, now how does CPM tie into these systems? Well, if you can't get rid of CPM, and if we can't kill it, and if it has to be your contract schedule, then here's exactly what I'm asking you to do. Is you'll have your Takt plan, and you can have multiple phases. Here, I'll start drawing it with multiple phases. Maybe that multiple phase comes out a little bit. CPM can be your level 1, level 2, and I know what you're thinking. You're gonna ask me for a level 3 here, and I'm going to start to complain and cry and whine and moan, but I'd rather you keep it at a level 2 level of detail. But your CPM can be your summary for the project, and I always recommend doing the Takt plan first and then exporting out to the CPM second. There are softwares, notably Takt, that does this and automatically exports it, but at a minimum, this is how you build the project right here. And then with the CPM, this is how you as-built. CPM is only useful as an as-built schedule, and I would even argue it's not even worth that. But if you're going to use it, this is how you use it in the outline. So let's now go over here to Last Planner. So we've done our outline, and let's go over here to the other page. All right, so the Last Planner system, which really is, from a base concept standpoint, you working with your trades collaboratively for short interval planning with certain deliverables, and doing those deliverables or coordinating those deliverables in a meeting system. And so if you see Last Planner, you'll see lots of collaboration, you'll see the trade partners being involved, but you have to have, if you're going to have the Last Planner system, you have to have this good pre-con planning, and you have to have it based on your Takt system. So let me go ahead and draw this. I'll get a little bit smaller with my sketches, but not a big deal, okay? So if you have the Takt and you're summarizing it to CPM, which is fine, you have your contract schedule. I'm not going to argue with you. Oh, let me just make this point. You can have your as-built schedule, but any of the methods to analyze the schedule are worthless. Meaning you can follow the Dalbert standard, you can do a forensic analysis, you can do as many fragnets as you want, but there's nothing in here as an as-built schedule that will do anything other than tell you that you're delayed. And the only solution here based on CPM is add more labor, work overtime, crash the activity, rush, push, and panic, bring out too many materials, throw money at the problem. Well, none of those will work. Everybody knows that that doesn't work. So if you have to do it, great, but always keep your mindset down here in production theory with Takt. And we have good books for that. The first one is Takt Planning, which we're actually doing an update to make some minor corrections here. We actually are doing it in the next couple of days. And then the book Takt Steering and Control, which talks to you about how to recover delays and run the Takt system. Okay, those are both fantastic, and we're doing updates to those in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so if you have your Takt as the base, then all you do is you bring down I'm just going to do 6WLA, your 6-week look ahead. So from your Takt, you'll go ahead and just bring down the filter for the 6-week look ahead. And this is designed to really allow you to make work ready with the trade partners and to identify and remove roadblocks. And this is key. Now you might be asking yourself, hey, are we shoving this schedule down their throat? No. When you create the Takt plan, you do it from a pull plan. So the trades were already involved in this pull plan, and the content of the Takt plan is their collaborative production plan. So when you filter it out, it's already their plan. Okay, and so that's fantastic. So it's already their plan. And then from there, you can filter out the weekly work plan, and that's where you get commitment, okay? And you identify handoffs. And then from there, you can obviously follow the day plan, and that day plan is able to vertically align with all of the other printouts, the weekly work plan, look ahead production plan, but it's also detailed enough and on a flow. Let me just go ahead and draw that diagonal line so that it's realistic out in the field, and then you can track your percent plan complete effectively. But the other thing is, if you implement this with Takt, you're also able to track your perfect handoff percentage, your roadblock removal average, and your remaining buffer ratio. So there's so many more KPIs that you can track in the Last Planner system. Now I want to cover two more real quick: advanced work packaging, and I want to cover Scrum. Okay, so I hope you're getting a visual for how all of these go together, and they really shouldn't be looked at as separate systems. It's really almost like you bought a Ford F-150 over here, and then you want, obviously, manufacture it right, then you want off-road tires, and then you want the off-road, full kit. Then you're gonna lift it, like you're taking the base model and you're adding to it to where you can go off-road and have some fun, right? I hope you got my analogy. Advanced work packaging is really about making sure that you have work areas broken out right, and that you have a clear path of construction, which is possible and already a part of the Takt production system, utilizing building information modeling and advanced procurement strategies to align the supply chain, which we already do in Takt, but you'll see how that fits, and making sure that by the time we get down here with the foreman, we have prepared that foreman with what's called an installation work package with them, meaning they have all of the necessary items to go accomplish their work. And so if you want to take advanced work packaging and put it on the system, then you'll align the supply chain, use building information modeling, understand the path of construction, the right work areas, and you'll prepare work packages to really enable the trades to have as little downtime as possible, as little tool time as possible. No, get rid of tool time, as little downtime as possible. When we talk about Scrum, Scrum is really quite simple. You have a Scrum board in the office, which has obviously on the top, you have your categories, but on the left, you have your backlog, your sprint backlog, your work in progress, and then your complete. So you have 4 different columns, and the team of professionals, the project management team, the PM, the super, the PE, the field engineers will do a daily stand-up and literally look at this board and start to move tasks from left to right in the Scrum framework. This is designed to take problems from the production plan and scale them to the overall team so that the team can create flow for the field. So in summary, and typically on videos we don't do summaries because it's a bad practice, but I want to tie this together. Takt is your base, has to be pre-planned before you get a notice to proceed. CPM can be your summary. The Last Planner system allows you to get all of the deliverables to the trades and involve them, especially the pull plan, with their short interval production planning. Advanced work packaging is simply the alignment of that of supply chains to the work areas and the path of construction, and really preparing the foreman with installation work packages. And Scrum is where the project management team takes problems, solves them in a collaborative and fast way to enable flow in the field. So they all tie together, as you can see. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to link you. I hope you love this, by the way, and that we got that like and that subscribe. But I will link you to a blog post. I will give you the visual for this so that you can check out the order this takes as far as system implementation. And I'll leave you an offer that if you ever need to explain this, reach out to us. We can provide you with anything that you need. But understanding that these all tie together is crucial for us to win in construction. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.